book about yourself again. You are vain. Well, I have to let them know that they've got it right, don't I? Yes, but come on, look, I've got all the firewood. We're ready. There's a huge great bonfire down there. We've got to get going. Bonfire? Yes, you know, it's Guy Fawkes, bonfire night. Well, I don't suppose you really know, do you, why we have bonfire night? Oh yes, it's good, so we can cook roast potatoes and jacket potatoes and have lots of fish and lots of bonfires on the beach and... No, do you know the real story? No, come on, let's go. No, I'm going to tell you the story. Sit down and listen, because you probably don't know it was me that saved King James. You saved King James? How was that? Well, it all started when I was in Spain. That's where I met Guy Fawkes. Well, he was called Guido then. He was in Spain and I became his bear. And he was fighting the Dutch Protestants. And we had great battles and all skirmishes and it was all wonderful. And then we came to England and he got into this little gang of 13 people. But I didn't know what they were up to. And then one day, after a good few months, do you know what happened? What happened? We were in a cellar under the Houses of Parliament and what do you think was there? No? Gunpowder. He had 36 barrels of gunpowder and he was going to blow up Parliament and the King. The King was on his way. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, and I thought he was a soldier and a good person and fighting for justice. But he wasn't. He was a traitor. Can you imagine? I was the adopted bear of a traitor. What could I do? I don't know. What did you do? Well, I thought to myself, I had a quick scratch and I thought, I'm not having part of this. He might be my owner and I might be his bear, but I can't let him blow up Parliament. What can we do? So I thought very quickly and I scuttled around that cellar and I watched him and he was just sitting there waiting for all the other traitors to arrive. Oh dear. And I thought, I've got to somehow get a signal out. So I hurried away and I got myself in a little corner of that cellar and I thought, the guards will be upstairs, they must be. So I ran up those stairs, scuttled up on all four paws I did, and I put out some growls. And those sentries, well, they really didn't know what was happening. They thought it might be a dog or a wolf. So I growled and growled, and I got them to come down the stairs. I didn't let them see me. I mean, what would they have thought? A teddy in the cellar of the Houses of Parliament and the King about to arrive in his carriage and horses and all the people cheering him. But I growled and I rushed round and I got them down to the cellar. And those yeomen of the guard, they came and they saw poor old Guy Fawkes and they captured him and they took him away and the King was saved. And you did all that? All by yourself? Well, I was very proud, but very sad, because that's when I had to come back to Wynghorran, because of course I wasn't owned by him anymore. Oh, that was sad. What happened? Well, they took him away, and well, he got hung, drawn and quartered, but that's another story. It was a shame, but I'd saved the King, and then all the people, they were rejoicing, and they wanted to let everybody round the whole countryside know that the King was safe. So, you know how they used to all light beacons? Oh yes, I've heard of that. Well, that's what they did. They lit lots and lots of bonfires to let everybody know and to celebrate that the King was safe. And that's why we have bonfire night on November the 5th. And when did all this happen then? Was it yesterday? Was it a little while ago? Well, it was, let me see, it was a good few hundred. 1605, that's when that was. November the 5th, 1605. What an interesting story that was. Well, there could tell you a lot more. Well, I suppose we really ought to get off to the bonfire. I need to take my twigs, don't I? Hello, what are you doing, Agregor?
Hello, Bearmont. What are you doing? You're not telling all these stories.
He's been telling me all about Guy Fawkes and bonfire night. It was so exciting.
Come on now, we got to get on. Otherwise I should be telling some of my stories and they will go on for a long, long time. OK, come on then. Let's go. Off we go now.
Oh,